Assalamu alaikum everyone. I am Umair Javed from HR Consultants Pakistan. I have been working as assistant manager education in HR consultants since last 7 years. HR consultants are pioneer in foreign studies consultancy in Pakistan and have been serving students with transparent information and work since last 27 years. We have branches in all the big cities of Pakistan and in all the leading countries of the world. Alongside me, I have my colleague, Ms. Zainab, who is Education Counselor for UK and HR Consultants. I hope you all are doing great and getting the blessings of this holy month. I would like to assure you all that we all at HR Consultants have been working remotely continuously and providing support to all of our students. So it's not like that COVID-19 has stopped everything. The staffs in the universities are working and we have been applying and arranging admissions of the students. Therefore, you guys who want to apply don't have to worry. Rather, you just have to send us your documents on the given numbers, on my number and Ms. Sanap numbers. Today's session is an important one for those of you who are planning for their higher studies in UK, because you will be getting all the necessary information about the importance of getting the education from UK, about fees and scholarships, placements and career opportunities in UK. Therefore, I would request you all to follow it with full concentration and also invite your friends who are interested in higher education from you. Before proceeding towards the institution, I would like to give you a brief overview of UK education system. We all know that UK is one of the best modern education system of the world. But the fact that it is the most cost-effective option among all the big countries makes it the most attractive destination for the international students. Besides, it offers shorter duration of undergraduate and postgraduate degree programs. So those students who want to start their career early should consider UK as their study destination. The flexibility of their education system gives a student the option to study the way that suits their lifestyle, hence makes their lives and studies comfortable for them. The highlight of the year is UK has reinstated their revoked post-study work permit with the new name of graduate immigration route, which is an excellent opportunity for those students who want to make their career and get settled in UK, as they will be allowed to stay and work in UK for 2 years after the completion of grants. So today, guys, we are going to brief you all about Brunel University London, which is one of the most renowned, prestigious, and popular UK institutions. We have Mr. Ali Baksh from Brunel University, who is the interim head of international student recruitment. He will be providing all the essential and useful information about Brunel University, and he'll be open to all of your questions. So please feel free to post your questions in comment box. And if you have any further question after the session, you can always contact us on our given numbers. Assalamu alaikum, Mr. Ali. How are you doing today?
Umair, thank you very much for inviting me for this session. So it's a pleasure to be here, and I look forward to engaging with yourselves and Ms. Zainab, and hopefully answer any questions our students or audience might have.
Okay. Hi Ali, how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm fine too. So today we have organized a session that to facilitate our students to know more about the Brunel University. So first of all, I'll just put highlight on HR consultant. The HR consultant is basically a serving education consultancy industry that serves students in academic counseling, selecting the right institution, securing admission, test preparation of like IELTS, SAT, GRE, GMAT, and visa guidance. So as to know that UK is basically the most popular destination for international students who really want to go abroad, as British education has a strong reputation worldwide. So we have, if any of our viewers have any questions regarding UK, regarding visa policies, and regarding Brunel University, kindly contact into 0321 4747 315, or you may also contact on 0322 5757 802 via WhatsApp or regular call. So Ali, can you just describe us and brief us about Brunel University, about its ranking, about its courses?
Yes. So I think a good place to start would be the name of the university. As you would have we would come across a lot of universities which are typically named after a specific city or destination. Um, Brunel is somewhat unique in that regard, in that the name comes from a famous Victorian engineer.
Yeah.
Um, it's a 19th century engineer, a very important figure in the Industrial Revolution. Um, so what has he done? So he's built some of some of the UK's key infrastructure, including bridges, dockyards, the Great Western Railway, and a series of steamships and numerous important bridges and tunnels. So designs which have revolutionized public transport and modern engineering. So a lot of the things that maybe you and I would take for granted today, that is which is being used at the moment. That's what Isambard Kingdom Brunel has actually helped bring about. And this is what we aim to instill in our students, is a want to address society's challenges at a global level. And we try and equip our students with the knowledge and skills to do that. So that's just a little bit of a brief about the university. In terms of rankings, and then Zainab, I think you wanted to sort of know where we stand. Um, we have a strong reputation globally. We feature on the QS World University Rankings 2020. We're positioned 359th in the world and 42nd in the UK. Then we also feature on the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2020, and we feature in the world top 400 universities and 42nd in the UK. And then last but not least, we also feature in the Shanghai rankings 2019, where we feature in the top 600 band of universities, 37th in the UK. And my favorite, which speaks volumes about the diversity of students and staff, is the Times Higher Education World University Rankings 2020 on International Outlook. So this ranking looks at the diversity of students. So we have students from 150 different countries, approximately 3,000 international students, but the overall student population, including international students, is approximately 14,000. Subject areas. So what are some of the areas of strength? Aerospace engineering. It's quite unique to have a London-based university offering aerospace engineering. But also because of our location in West London, being close to Heathrow Airport, then we have some strong connections with some of the, I guess, organizations that operate in the aerospace, field. Civil engineering, 13 in the UK, sorry, aerospace engineering, we're 18 in the UK, creative writing, 17, design more so coming at it from a technical product design perspective. We are 8th in the UK, education, 25th in the UK, electronic electrical, 34th. Our MSc management in the Financial Times Masters in Management 2018 was ranked 20 in the UK and 92nd in the world. Occupational therapy and physiotherapy, we are 14 in UK for both of those. Apologies, I think I might have said a little bit too much, but yeah, that just gives you nice picture about the university and what we offer.
No, no, that was really great. I mean, you explained very well about the rankings, about the history of Brunel University, and about some popular courses and its ranking. Ali, I would like you to brief something about the location, about the campus of Brunel University for our students. I mean, very few students know the fact that Brunel is one of the very few campus-based universities in London. So please let our students know about the campus life in Brunel and about the location, where it is located and how far it is from Heathrow Airport and from the central London.
Sure. I think what I might do, I've got one or two slides with some photos, and I think I probably do a better job of
Yeah, yeah,
communicating.
sure.
So let me try and share that with you now. So I believe you can all see this. In regards to your question about the location, we are based in West London. and we are approximately 20 minutes away by car to and from London Heathrow, and about 45 minutes away from central London. So that's a location. The name of the town where the university is located is called Uxbridge, and Uxbridge has a range of shops, cafes, restaurants, and all sorts of shopping amenities that you come to expect from a university town. But importantly, in the town center, then you'll have access to the underground network, which allows you to travel, in London. And this is just a map of the tube network. And the big image there where it says Uxbridge, that's where we are located. So as you can see from this image alone, you can travel to any part of London from Uxbridge. Obviously, the further afield you travel, the longer it would take you. In terms of the campus, then just again, just a few points really. I touched on the number of students, about 14,000 students, and nearly 3,000 international students from 150 countries. And accommodation is guaranteed for international students, first year, second year, and final year, if you're an undergraduate student, and then equally, your master's. And this is the campus down here. I don't know if you can all see the image there, but that entire complex is the campus. So Mayor, as you said earlier, we're one of few universities with a full-fledged campus in London. So 4,500 rooms on campus. We've got a business school, design and engineering school, school of health, life sciences, law school, a wonderful sports park, which was used for the Olympics in 2012. We've got a indoor athletic center, again, frequented by world-class athletes like Usain Bolt, indoor fitness center, and obviously restaurants, cafes, and your 24-hour library. Just the last slide here then is really just to paint the picture here. So the way that we would like to, position Brunel in the minds of, students and offer holders is that, we're not in central London, so that means you can focus on your studies in an environment which is conducive to you studying, really. Lots of space, lots of, fresh air and greenery. But then London's at your doorstep. And then equally, we're not far off from London Heathrow. So, when you arrive in the UK for the first time, that transition from home to the UK to Brunel is a little bit easier versus maybe some of our peer universities that might be a little bit further afield than we are. But also it means, when you plan to travel abroad, whether you want to go back home to Pakistan or indeed you want to travel to Europe, then that you can do that quite easily. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that brought a question into the mind that, if it has been mentioned that it's not in the central London, it's in the west of the London. So that brings a question that, what about those students who are interested for, working part-time alongside their studies? Will there be opportunities for them in west of London, or will they have to travel to central London for their working opportunities?
Yes. So in terms of work opportunities, what we have, what the university offers in regards to employability. So this is the phrase that we like to use. Employability, the way that I would define, is anything that attempts to help students, improve their career prospects. So how do we do that? We have a professional development center, the PDC in short. It's a dedicated center that is designed to assist students, whether you're home in or international, with work placement opportunities. Work placement opportunities, as you know, are work experiences built into or as part of your course, your overall course. We offer work placements at undergraduate level. So typically our undergraduate degree is 3 years in duration, but if you wish to undertake the work placement option, then it extends your degree from 3 years to 4 years. And where is that work placement placed? Then it fits between your second year and your final year. Um, that's a great opportunity for undergraduate students. Number one, you don't pay tuition fee that year. There is an administration cost, obviously, but that's to help the PDC find you suitable opportunities. Number two, you develop some really good experiences. You build some networks, and then also it helps you with your dissertation. In your final year, the majority of our degree courses, you have to work on a project, a major project, and that contributes towards your final degree grade or attainment of CGPA. So the work placement there is really useful. And then at postgraduate level, we have started introducing one-year work placements with a number of courses, including the MSc Management or Business School courses, finance and accounting courses now also offer one-year work placement. And we're looking to extend it to law and some other courses in the coming years. Um, so those are work placements built into the actual course. Again, they're optional, and you do get paid for them. Uh, Besides those, then students that want to work as whilst they're studying, that is also a possibility. So students can do part-time work. Typically, students are allowed to work up to a certain number of hours, depending on undergraduate or postgraduate level. So part-time work support, work placement support. We also offer career advice support. There is voluntary jobs also available. Modern languages is something that we also offer through the PDC. So students want to take up, let me say, for instance, Arabic or Spanish or something else, then that's available to students, and that's free of charge. And that again, it sort of ties into the employability concept, isn't it? I think it's in this day and age, we are a very small, the world is smaller than it was. And so I think it's about equipping students with different knowledge and different skills to ensure that they can operate at a global level.
Okay, Ali, can you just highlight, because many of the courses offered by Brunel University offers mostly 15 months, the duration of the program is 15 months. Then some offer 3 months internship, some offer 6 months, or some offer, 1 year. So what would be the most suitable option for the international student to opt with?
So Zainab, if I understand the question, then it's about work placements at postgraduate level.
Yeah, at postgraduate level, no?
Yeah. Um, the longer the better is my personal opinion. Obviously, if your circumstances allow you
Mhm.
and you have the relevant funds to sustain your living costs and expenses, then I would suggest going for the longer option. So we have some courses, let's say the MSc Management, which offers a 12 to 13 week work placement option. But then equally, we offer the one-year work placement option. So students have the flexibility to choose whichever model best appeals to them. But in my opinion, yes, I would go for the longer work placement option.
So Ali, would it be a guaranteed placement, like student have to pay some other extra costs apart from the tuition fee, or just they'll just get a free internship program?
So very good
Could be some
question.
cost. Yeah.
Very good question. In terms of the cost, there is an administrative cost to the PDC to assist with to assist the students with their with their search for a suitable sector, company role, but also to assist with the preparation. So the PDC offer preparation in terms of mock interviews, preparing for assessment centers, preparing CVs and covering letters and things. Um, um,
Hmm.
uh, yeah, I've just lost my thoughts there for a second. Um, so the support is there, and there are some costs associated there. Your question was about, is it guaranteed? The short answer is no. It's not guaranteed because a lot of the opportunities that we offer are actual real-world opportunities where students from other universities would also be competing for in trying to secure them. So they're not guaranteed. Um, but we definitely try and give the students, the best support to make sure that when they go into an interview situation or when they go to an assessment center, they can do the best.
Ali, Brunel Business School is a very famous business school, it's renowned. And I have a lot of students studying business intelligence with digital marketing. So it's a very hot program. So can you just highlight, can you highlight the MSc Business Intelligence and Digital Marketing program? Because it's a very hot and famous program in Pakistan. The
Uh,
most demanding program for Brunel.
Zainab, I'll try and do justice about the course. I don't have the modules right in front of me, but I can vouch for what you're saying, which is it is a popular course. There are some countries where there's at a government level, they would like to strategically invest in data science, cybersecurity, the sort of the global challenges that we're all currently facing. So data science analytics, it is a course that we offer, yes. It's also one of few courses in the UK that is SAS accredited. So there's a professional accreditation. And just on that, many of our postgraduate and undergraduate courses are accredited by various professional bodies. So if students, for instance, let's take accounting, if students decided to take the ACCA in the future by completing our, undergraduate courses in accounting and finance, they are exempt from certain modules. So they don't have to give exams for those modules because they've already met those requirements by taking our courses. So that course is it's quite popular, and for the right reasons. And
Because it's basically a combination of two subjects. One is business intelligence and the other one is digital marketing. So it's a very different and unique program.
Yeah, it's a
And
very
I don't
good
think that
study.
any other university offering it.
off the top of my head, I'm not sure if there are many universities offering that particular combination. You're right; it's quite a disciplinary course, and I think that's what makes it unique. But we have a
Mhm.
number of courses that do just that. So at undergraduate level, for example, we have a course called BASC. So it's a Bachelor of Arts and Sciences, very
Yeah.
unique, and it's called Global Challenges. And then within global challenges, there are 4 streams. So you can do global security, planetary health, innovation and entrepreneurship. So there's a couple of courses like the business intelligence and digital marketing, which are quite unique to Brunel. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Ali,
So,
I have to clear, I mean, one question about the placement.
mhm.
Discuss almost everything about the work placement, but we have discussed about the requirement for the placement, particularly for the postgraduate programs. Are the placement paid, or I mean, are this non-paid? Besides, what are the things that students need to do to get the placement? I mean, do they have to go through a placement interview, or do they have to submit anything for that? Or most importantly, I mean, would it be paid placement or non-paid?
The majority of the placements that we offer at undergraduate and postgraduate are paid. However, there are certain placements which, by way of how the sector operates, for instance, they may not be paid or they might just cover expenses. Um, so that hopefully helps answer the question. And in regards to what students have to do to secure placements, the first thing they would need to do is to speak with the PDC and express their interest. And then the PDC, obviously, they have their own procedures in place to take them from step A until step Z. Um, but as I mentioned earlier, the placements are not guaranteed because students are competing with other students for those, quite attractive positions. And they just, they would have to prepare as if they would in the real world. But for instance, for you and I, or indeed Zainab, when we applied for jobs, you have to prepare your CV, your covering letter, you have to submit it, and then hopefully you get invited for the interview, because the employers, obviously, they'll invite, a handful of candidates and then select the respective candidate, from that list. So very similar to how it would work in the real world in terms of the recruitment process.
Okay, to
Thank you
all our
for
viewers. Okay, to all our viewers who are watching this live session, if you have any inquiry regarding that, you can post your comments on into the you can post your inquiry into the comment box, and you can also contact on to 03225757 802, or you may also contact into 0321474731. So earlier we have an inquiry regarding the entry requirement of HSC students. Can HSC student get direct entry into bachelor's program, or they have to come with foundation route?
At present, we unfortunately do not allow for HSC students to, come into first year direct entry, as you said. However, that's where the Brunel International College, or Brunel Pathway College, excuse me, comes into the picture. So it's an on-campus facility designed for students it's an alternative entry point. So HSC students, obviously, they would qualify for the foundation, but they may also qualify for the international first year version. I would suggest for HSC students, obviously, to make inquiries through yourselves, and then check the eligibility with Brunel Pathway College and see which entry point is more suitable for them.
Well, Ali, what are the requirements for the direct entry admission into the undergraduate programs and for the postgraduate programs as well?
Yes, so this is just general entry points, because the entry requirements can vary by course. Let's take, for instance, if we're looking at engineering, we typically need two A's and a B, preferably at A level, excuse me. If you're coming with an A level qualification, um, so that just gives you an indication. 3 A level subjects, including maths and preferably a science. Um, Whereas if it's another course, let's take, for instance, law, then the requirements are going to be, it's going to be a little bit more attractive. Obviously, the exact grading criteria can be found on the website. But I would say that this year, obviously, I don't think we've talked about this, the elephant in the room, which is COVID-19. Um, the university is looking to be more flexible. And I guess I'm also on this call to reassure our offer holders or applicants, or indeed any prospective students, that our admissions team and the university will do what we can in terms of providing flexibility, maximum flexibility. So even if you see that we're requiring a specific grade on the website page, I would still encourage you to get in touch with us, obviously explain the situation and explain what, if anything, if you've been affected or impacted. I believe everyone has been, and we will try and accommodate, your situation when assessing your applications. Hopefully, you will get an offer from us. Yeah, at postgraduate level, generally speaking, we need a CGPA of 2.4 to 2.6, depending on the institution in Pakistan.
Yeah, well,
Okay,
thank you.
I have received one more inquiry that a student is asking about the MBA entry requirement. Does Brunel University, requires any sort of experience for direct entry into MBA?
Yes, so our business school is AACSB accredited, and it's also AMBA accredited. So with the AMBA accreditation, which is the Association of Global MBAs, our MBA course, it requires a minimum 3 years managerial level work experience. So that is a key requirement to gain eligibility for the course. Obviously, besides your English and academic profile.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So yeah, Alisa, I have a question from a student. He says that he has done bachelor's from UK in 2016, and he has spent 10 years already in UK. Due to the some circumstances, he had to come back to Pakistan. Now he wants to apply for the master's program, and he wants to change his field from science to business. will he be able to exempt from IELTS? This what his question is.
I think we would have to see the documents to give a definitive answer. But if I was to, obviously I don't have his full documentation in front of me. If, for instance, if he had taken A levels or if he'd taken GCSE English and attained a grade C, then that's that. We generally would be able to waive the English requirement. But if he had done the national curriculum and then went to the UK, graduated in 2016. Yeah, we would take that into consideration that he's graduated from the UK, but we would definitely need to see the full history before we can make a decision on that. So admissions team would be the best people to provide accurate advice on that. So I would suggest he gets in touch with HR and let's make some inquiries with the admissions team based on documents that he can provide us with.
All
Okay,
right.
Ali.
Here is speaking about entry requirements of for A level student, and as you have mentioned that Brunel has decided to show some flexibility to A level and O level student, and it's particularly in the light of the decision from the Cambridge. They have decided for A level student that they will be passed according to their predicted grades rather than appearing in the examination this year. So what Brunel have in store in store for them? And I mean, has Brunel decided to take their start dates to October or November rather than September?
Yeah, I think I'll answer that question first. We, as a university, we are looking to offer a number of options to students. I would say that we are still proceeding with our September 2020 intake. The exact start date is yet to be finalized. But one thing I can say is that we'll be we're looking to. I don't want to confirm, but we're looking to offer dual delivery model. What does that mean? It means that we're looking to design a platform which allows students to either start online or start on campus if they can, but then move from one model to the other with ease. So that is one way of us trying to bring a little bit of flexibility in terms of how we deliver learning and teaching at Brunel. So I don't have the specifics at hand, but obviously it's something that senior management and our academics and faculty are working towards. On the matter of, I guess, examinations being cancelled and so on. As a university, we will be using the grades awarded by the exam boards to assess academic achievement. So this is what we've always done. But the one thing, as I mentioned earlier, we will always be as flexible as possible for applicants. And I think equally we are aware of the stress caused by the current situation. We do have an information hub designed for international students. If I can quickly just share this, because a lot of the questions I guess we are facing with will be answered on this page. Just bear with me. Here we go. So this page is coronavirus information for prospective Brunel students, and you can see a number of questions. With the respective answers also provided. So there's a lot of information that we've tried to sort of put on this website, and again for the benefit of our offer holders and applicants community.
All right.
Okay,
That
Ali.
brought another question to the mind. I mean, does Brunel entertain those students who are interested for transferring their credits from undergraduate degree in Pakistan to into the UK?
Yes. Yes, we do not offer final year entry for any course across the university. So if we talk about undergraduate, We do not offer final year entry. For some select courses, we offer second year entry. With the exception of, I would say, engineering. It's not something that we currently cater for. If someone is doing an undergraduate degree in engineering in Pakistan, and he or she is trying to, if they would like to explore, entry into second year, that is quite a difficult process. But for most of our other courses, on a case-by-case basis, we do offer international students the opportunity to start in our second year. Yeah.
Okay, Ali, as you know, Umair has raised question regarding the credit transfer. So I have one more question regarding that. What is the arrangement? What are the arrangements of credit transfer for H&D students? The
Um,
student, yeah, if a student have done A levels, then what are the and then they have done H&D, then what would be the arrangement for how much years they would get the credit transfer? How many years would be something?
I think, so Zainab, that one we would need the students to submit an application. And then our admissions team would need to assess what modules, what content they've learned, to advise, on eligibility. So that one, yeah, it's something that our admissions team would need to look at before. Yeah, so I would suggest for H&D students is to submit the applications. If they don't qualify for the direct entry points, then that's where Brunel Pathway College comes into the picture. So they can they might be able to provide those students with an alternative entry point. So it really depends on what they've studied, and what modules what subjects they've taken, and how they've performed in those. Sorry, yeah, it's not a straight answer, but
Oh,
it's more.
that's
Yeah.
fine. That's fine. Ali, we know that you guys offer IELTS exemption for group of universities of Pakistan. I mean, if the students have completed their undergraduate degree from one of those university, Brunel won't need IELTS from them for the entry into the postgraduate programs. But I mean, in this current situation, as IELTS are not being conducted all over the world at the moment, and so I mean, do you guys? I mean, are you guys accepting any other alternative English language tests like Duolingo or TOEFL IBT in place of IELTS?
Yes, so we do accept Duolingo. It's something that we've recently started accepting, and yeah, it's something that we also now promote. But equally, as you know, uh, we have our own internal English test. It's called the Brunel English Language Test. In the past, this test has been administered in person, but we are slowly looking at offering this virtually. Um, but my personal recommendation is to go with the Duolingo test. It takes 1 hour to complete, if I'm not mistaken. It's quite reasonably priced. I believe it's $49 US.
$49, yeah.
Right, exactly. And yeah, so it's I would recommend Duolingo test. I think it's also approved by a lot of other UK and US universities.
Right. Thank you. Ali, I mean, we are well aware that last time you told us about your MBBS or MBBCH program, which are going to be started next year in September. I mean, would you like us to, aware of the entry requirements of that programs and the procedures, to go into those programs?
Yeah.
Yes, so the MBBS program is we'll be offering the MBBS program. It's a 5-year medicine program, and it's that we will be offering 10 scholarships specifically for MBBS medicine for 2021/22 entry. That'll be the first entry point. What does that mean? So September 2021 is going to be the first entry point for our MBBS program. Um, the students will obviously, as part of the MBBS, will undertake a wide range of clinical placements spanning across London and the southeast of England, where they'll get the opportunity to observe actual practice, and obviously have the opportunity to apply their clinical knowledge to real life clinical situations. I believe that's part of the MBBS course itself. Learning and teaching, it's going to be obviously a multidisciplinary approach. There's going to be a lot of scenarios to develop communication skills, simulation, and things like ethical decision making. So quite interesting topics, and these are all emphasized throughout the course. And something quite unique about our MBBS is we are among very few medical schools in the world, I'm told, to use team-based learning as our main method of classroom instruction. So the requirements really, again, depend on the qualification. But if we look at A levels, generally we're looking at minimum grades of AAB at A level, and they need to include chemistry or biology or a second science. And if it's a student taking the international baccalaureate, for instance, we're looking at minimum 33 points with a high level 6 and high level 5 in chemistry or biology and a second science. Maths proficiency is grade C at GCSE minimum or equivalent international. And in terms of IELTS, we need a minimum of IELTS 7, with no less than 7 in each subsection. The main thing is we don't actually need BMAT, UCAT, or GAMSAT. So these tests are not a requirement for us. But applicants who have taken such, if they have taken these tests, you're more than welcome to submit this as part of the application. Tuition fees, if anyone's interested, it's £40,000 a year.
£40,000.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
still less than other, MBBS programs. I mean, those are more than that.
Yeah. So it's that's the tuition fees. And so in terms of the selection process, obviously, besides meeting the entry requirements, those who meet the MBBS requirements, they're invited for an interview, and then candidates can attend the interview either on the campus or virtually through Zoom or Skype. The method that we use is I believe it's called the MMI. It's the multi-meeting interview model of selecting students. So yeah, that's just a very brief overview of the MBBS course, which is coming online, first intake September 2021.
Thank you. Very well explained answer for that. Ali, I mean, would you like to reassure our those students who are still confused about the September intake, whether they'll be, and it will be run in September or it will be, postponed to some other date?
As
This direct question from my student.
Yeah, Ali asked to know that as per the current situation of pandemic. So we have a lot of questions regarding the students who are asking about that whether the September intake will happen or not. So can you just highlight into it?
The September intake, where we stand right now, our decision is that it will still be going ahead for us. So I think there may be a delay in the start date. For instance, I think we asked this question earlier. I tried to sort of suggest that we will know closer to the time. But for now, we are accepting applications for September. And then it's also offering the students this dual delivery approach. So for those students who may feel uncomfortable about starting in September, we're looking to offer them the online provision. And then come January, they might be able to start their on-campus studies. So those are some of the provisions that we're looking to offer the students. Yeah.
Well, Ali, thank you for that. I mean, before jumping into our next question, which is about the scholarship, I would like you a student question that is, I mean, he is worried that whether the Duolingo or TOEFL IBT will be accepted for the visa as well, or would he have to appear in the IELTS for the visa?
So I think I would need to obviously bring in our immigration expert, but from how my understanding of how we do that in terms of the visa is when a student, so we have the equivalencies of Duolingo and IELTS. So let's say, for instance, if a course is asking for hang on a second. So if a course
If
is
it's
asking
not a
for
problem, I would
6.5.
like to add something in it. I mean, if it's okay for you.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, well, I'll say, I mean, if the Duolingo or TOEFL IBT is accepted by the university, it will be accepted by the embassy as well, because the embassy, it always looks on the CAS letter, what the university has written as an evidence of English language proficiency in the CAS letter. So if the
But
university has written on the CAS that the university is a higher education institution and has assessed the English language ability of the student, the embassy wouldn't ask for any document regarding the English language proficiency test. So if I mean, I would the answer of this question is, if the Duolingo or TOEFL IBT or whatever English language test is acceptable by the university, it will be acceptable by the embassy as well.
yes.
So Ali, I have, as Umair has asked about the IELTS requirement, I have one more question regarding that. One of the student has raised the questions that what are the arrangements by Brunel University if student is short to achieve zero point 0.5 bands? So does university have any arrangements regarding pre-sessional programs?
So we, for now, we need the exact requirements, IELTS requirements for all our courses. Yeah, so there is no flexibility in terms of reducing IELTS requirements. In terms of pre-sessional English, yes, we do offer pre-sessional English courses. We have recently launched online pre-sessional English. So if students do not meet the English requirement, and if they'd like to take up some preparatory English courses, then that's something that we can definitely offer.
All right. So Ali, my next question is about the scholarships. We know, I mean, Brunel is, always honor the merit, always honor the high achievers. I mean, they give around £6,000 scholarship to high achiever students. But beside that, I mean, Brunel has given us the facility for being their prime partner, that, I mean, we can, award to a limited number of our students the £3,000 scholarship. Would you like us, I mean, would you like to explain more about your scholarships? And I mean, there is a particular question from a student about a particular degree program. Do you guys offer any scholarship for occupational therapy program?
For I would need to double check, Omer, if we offer a specific scholarship for occupational therapy. Off the top of my head, I can't think of anything. It's just we have a number of scholarships. So brunel.ac.uk/scholarships. But if I can just briefly reiterate the example that you gave. So we have a limited number of exclusive scholarships with HR. They are £3,000 per year. So a very attractive scheme. But
This is
the
basically HR specific scholarship.
Yes, these are HR specific. But as you said, these are limited number and they're merit based, so they're quite competitive in that sense. And definitely the profile of candidates I've seen through from Pakistan in general, and indeed through HR is excellent. So the selection process is quite difficult for us as a university. What I would say though is we have a number of schemes which are equally, I guess, popular and relevant, but maybe not a lot of applicants or prospective students may know about. Number one, we offer a Brunel family discount, which is a 10% fee waiver per year for up to 3 years. We also have a Brunel graduate discount. So for students who have completed a bachelor's and now looking to do a master's at Brunel, then there's a 15% fee waiver. Then there's also the MBA scholarship, which is merit-based. And this is approximately 6,500. And then obviously there's the general international excellence scholarship at £6,000, which is also limited in number and merit based. So there's a number of schemes there to hopefully offer students the opportunity to take them up.
Okay, Ali, one of the student has raised a question regarding accommodation. As you know, that accommodation is one of the concern for international students. So how Brunel University facilitate international students and
So
accommodation?
So accommodation is, so we have approximately 4,500 rooms on campus. The majority of them are ensuite. Ensuite meaning the rooms are private, single bed, shower in the room, so you don't share anything. So they're quite nice. In terms of accommodating them, then students would, as long as they hold an offer, they can actually submit an application for accommodation. There's no application fee. And the students would need to meet all the conditions on the offer letter and pay the deposit no later than the end of August in order to secure a room on campus. So accommodation on campus is guaranteed as long as the admissions processes are complete by the end of August. And once then the accommodation team will contact the students to let them know that a room is been allocated, and they pay the students typically pay a deposit of £350, and then on a deposit basis then the remainder of the processes are complete. So when the student arrives then on campus, they pick up their keys from the security office, and then obviously they can move
All
into
Mary,
right.
the
do
room.
you have any question regarding accommodation?
Yeah, I have a relevant question. I asked it earlier as well, I believe. I was asking about the cost of the accommodation. What do you recommend? Living on campus would be expensive for a student, or living off campus would be expensive for a student? And what do you suggest, particularly to our undergraduate students? Whether they should live on campus for the first year of degree program, or they can live outside the campus as well. But what do you suggest that to enjoy and to experience the student life in UK, campus life in UK? What undergraduate students should do in their first year? Whether they should live on campus or off campus?
The answer to that question is yes. Students, I recommend students live on campus, undergraduate or postgraduate. If you're an international student, that's the best way for you to be part of the community. That's the best. In my opinion, again, it's the best way for you to experience, the Brunel experience. In terms of costs, then typically our ensuite rooms are approximately £600 per month. That includes all your utilities, so water, gas, heating, Wi-Fi, and so on. £600 per month in comparison is, to rooms outside is very reasonable, I would say. Obviously, off campus, you might be able to find some more cost-effective options, but the quality may be a little bit different. So my recommendation on campus, also for the fact that you don't have to wake up or take the bus, or to get to university, or to get to your classes. So convenience is also a key thing. The campus has a boundary. Just on the campus, again, we have a medical center, 2 pharmacies, We've got a student center, the PDC I mentioned, Hamilton Center, so mini supermarket. So we cater to all sorts of dietary needs, halal, vegetarian, and so on. Multiple cafes, fitness centers. So yeah, from a convenience point and from an experience point, yeah, I would say on campus is preferred.
Okay.
Very well
And
explained. Thank you, Ali. Well, I have a question from a student,
sure. Hmm.
but I mean, in fact, from a offer holder. He has the
Hmm.
offer from the Brunel University, and his question is about the Brunel English language test, which was, going to be conducted on 28 March, but it was cancelled because of, the COVID-19 situation. So, what Brunel has, in place for that program?
So, so students have two options. Option one is if they can, I would suggest they take up the Duolingo test. Right, that's one option, or indeed, we are currently delivering these the Brunel online version of the Brunel in some countries. I believe we've done it in one or two countries at the moment. But I can definitely share more information about it with yourselves, and maybe you can share that information with the offer holders. So if we can give those opportunities for students in Pakistan, why not? Yeah. So I'll come back to you on that if that's okay.
All right, thank you, Ali. The most important question I believe is, I mean, what if the situation, God forbid, does not get better this year? Have Brunel thought about, going for online classes rather than, campus-based learning for this year?
Yes. I, the dual delivery approach that I spoke about earlier, I think that model, we're looking to design it in a way that if students need to move from the
Hmm.
online track to the offline track, they can do so with ease. So if the situation, God forbid, doesn't improve, then the online track will be available, um, for the entirety of the course. So that hopefully will offer some reassurances to our viewers that there will be some options that we're looking at the moment. So we will be doing a formal communication to all our communities, including our partners like HR, by the end of May, to give you more definitive information on what the dual delivery model is going to look like, so that you can share that with offer holders and candidates.
Thank you.
Okay.
Zainab, do you have any other question?
Yes, I have a lot of questions. As you know that we are running short of time and we have a lot of inquiries regarding that. So one of us, Ali, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, one of the student has raised a question that she has completed ACCA, but she has not opted for OBU degree. So can she, get admission into MSc Accounting and Finance?
Zainab, I think we would probably have to liaise with admissions on that. Off the top of my head, I'm not sure. I think we need to look at the documents and yeah, get our admissions team involved on this. So I would encourage the candidate to apply, and let's get the documents shared with admissions and then get a response that way.
Okay. So what are the basic requirements we should be, careful of when requesting for CAS letter?
Um, I would probably defer the question back to yourself because it's more, I guess that's where HR comes into the picture, because that's what that's one of your areas of specialty. Yeah,
Like
I
does Google offer any, does Google conduct any credibility interview?
No, so we don't conduct credibility interviews. So for a long period, we've had a very limited number of partners in Pakistan. Obviously, HR being one of our key partners there. So we have full confidence in yourselves in assisting, the students in terms of their documentation, or indeed if they have any any issues. So we don't conduct any interviews ourselves, generally
If your
speaking.
Brunel University requires any bank statement for issuance of cash, or it is just straight process?
So we don't necessarily cite that information. I think for a long time our visa success rate has been high, and again, it's a testament to the partners that we work with, including yourself. So until if the situation was different in that we had a high refusal rate, then definitely we would have more of a hands-on approach in terms of making sure the documents meet requirements. But we're quite confident that that HR is doing the best job that it can, and that's what the partnership's about.
Yeah, it's basically, Brunel is basically a great partner of HR consultants. And we have a lot of applications and, students who are studying currently in Brunel University. So I have one more question regarding that. One of the students has raised question that if she has completed MSc Accounting and Finance from UK, and now she again and now then after some time, after 4 to 5 years, she just come back to Pakistan, and now she again wants to apply for UK, but her percentage is 50 percentage. So is she eligible for direct master's entry, as her previous background is from UK, but her percentage is around 50.
Is that in terms of a UK degree classifications? Do you know what that is? That's which
Just passed
university? Okay,
University of New South Wales.
right. Yeah, I don't want to make a decision on on online, but I think a conversation maybe offline with some documents cited, I think that would probably give a better response, a more tailored response to her. But there's if for instance, if generally speaking, if candidates do not meet entry criteria for direct entry into masters or undergraduate, then we have the Brunel Pathway College. So the Pathway College, for instance, they would have a 3-month pre-master option, that they could be considered for. But definitely, let's look at the specific documents, maybe by way of an application, and then hopefully we can get a more solid answer on that question.
So Ali, basically, what are your viewpoints about the current situation in UK?
Wow.
What are your viewpoints?
My viewpoints. I think
Everything
the
will be settled down, or will it be, devastating moment for all of us?
no, I think optimism is key. The
Yeah.
situation right now is it's quite still changing on a week by week basis. And in my opinion, I think the UK government have done, they're doing their best in trying to respond to the situation. So I think a lot of the countries and economies are going through a similar phase, social distancing, lockdown, and generally speaking, the population are adhering to those rules. So we just need to be a little bit patient. I think some of the risks that have been captured in media is if some of the rules are eased up too soon, then that could be a little bit risky. So yeah, I think there's let's see. But just focusing on education, then the sector, it's the UK sector, the higher education sector have been quite resilient during this time, and I think we're all adapting to this new situation. I think I think even post COVID-19, then I think the world is going to be different. Obviously, a lot of people have said this, but the sector and how students consume education, how they engage with universities. I think a lot of that is changing. I think a lot of the changes have been taking place over the last couple of years, but I think the situation has just accelerated that change. Yeah, so just a couple of thoughts there about the situation for now.
I would like to add a point in that. I would say, I mean, UK government has done tremendous work, in order to, keep the losses at law. Because they went into the lockdown suddenly, I mean, when the numbers were increasing. And now, I mean, I have been, following the reports since last week, and the numbers are, coming down day by day. and I think they are looking towards opening up as well. At the current moment, they are locked down, but they are thinking towards opening up. So as you said that we should be optimistic, which is the best policy at the moment, and we should be we should hope for the best, but we should be prepared for the worst as well, and hopefully we are going towards the better world.
Yes. Well
Well,
said, Umair.
with that, I would ask a question which was left in between. I would ask that does Brunel entertain top up students which are who have completed HND, or who have completed 3 years degree program in Pakistan and wants to complete their final year from UK. So does Brunel offer any top up program for them?
No, no is the short answer, maybe. So we don't offer final year entry into our undergraduate courses, unfortunately. So that would be a challenge. Um, yeah. But like I said, I think if you have some exceptional cases, then we would be happy to consider them. So I don't want to outright say no, but I think if there are some exceptional candidates, then we would definitely consider their cases. Yeah.
Or I think some mostly student will get into the pre-masters route.
That's a possibility. Yes, that's another possibility. Yeah, but as I mentioned earlier, I think we're trying to introduce a little bit more flexibility in admissions policies, particularly at the moment. So if you do have any questions, or if students are not quite sure if they qualify or not, please get in touch. Yeah.
Okay. So Umair, do you have any relevant question regarding it, or shall we close?
Well, I have asked a lot of questions, and Ali has, answered all the questions in detail, and I thank him very much for that. And I'm sure that all the queries from our students have been cleared by Mr. Ali. And in case if you have, any question in future, you have our contact details on the screen. Zainab numbers is 03214747 and my number is 0322575780. You can always contact us. We are always there for you, and we have been working continuously in order to support all of our students.
And thank you so much, Ali, for joining us. You have given your precious time, and you have, discussed about the courses, admissions, and everything. You have covered all the points. And thanks to all our viewers who are watching this live session. If you have any questions, you can, reach us 24/7 at any time via our WhatsApp or regular call. And as Umair has shared as Umair has shared our numbers. So if you have any concern, you have any question, HR team is always here to help you. So take care. Allah Hafiz.
And I
Thank
would,
you.
I would, I would, I would like to add a point in that, as Ali has explained, that Brunel is still taking application and accepting applications for September 2020. So you guys don't have to wait. If you had any doubts in your mind, it all has been cleared by Mr. Ali. So guys, it's high time to apply for the admission, as the university, you all know, is taking and accepting applications for September 2020. All you have to do for the application is to send us our document on the mentioned numbers. I wish you all to keep getting the blessing for the rest of this holy month. Stay home, keep yourselves and your loved ones safe. Thank you.
Thank you, Umair. Thank you, Zainab. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ali. Take care.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Ali.
Khud Hafiz.
Hafiz.